So we've got a bit of a debate going on in the last day or so regards Wayne Rooney versus Neymar. I think it was on the overlap. Wayne Rooney made some comments about Neymar not being a top player. May have been misconstrued or not the full message, but especially on Twitter, there's been an outrage really of Neymar fans talking about the Premier League's best players, who's better when Rooney or Neymar, bringing other players into the debate. So we've got about maybe 5 to 10 minutes for my views on this little topic. So first of all, like I said, nowadays in the media, you get a comment and it gets thrown about, and one thing leads to another. So we're just going to talk about Neymar as an individual, Rooney as an individual, compare them and maybe look at how good Neymar is compared to any player that's played in the Premier League. So for me, I first came aware of Neymar when he was at Santos, and there was talk of this wonder kid, and I hadn't watched any full matches, but obviously seeing the highlights, you're thinking to yourself, wow. And obviously there's been a lot of wonder kids that come out of Brazil, especially who's the next Pele, this, that, and the other. But sometimes you can see with certain players, especially dribblers, when they have the technical ability, acceleration, and the goal scoring at a younger age, players can develop that goal scoring touch later on, obviously. But when they have it from a younger age, they're dangerous from the start. So for me, Neymar was always incredible since I first saw him. When he came to Barca, I was delighted. Obviously, there's a debate whether he should have gone to PSG, left Barcelona. That is a big contentious point as well. Some people say his best football was played after Barca at PSG. So for me, at Barcelona, he probably was never going to be the main man, but playing with it alongside Messi, Messi has that humbleness as well to give him. Obviously, with the media, etc., maybe Neymar still wouldn't have won the Ballon d'Or, but we'll never know. But just the level of football that he produced, Emerson, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, it was incredible to watch. So for me, he is in the top sphere of actual ability wise. Now, if you compare him to anything in the Premier League, any player that's ever played in the Premier League, you're looking at the likes of Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo. For me personally, it's the way you look at the situation and what you're trying to compare. If you're just trying to compare them as individual players, who as a player has reached the highest level of football, the standard of football, or you could say who's had the better career, who's won the most trophies, who scored the most goals, who's there's so many things, variables that you can put in there. For me personally, I always say that the best three players of the last 15, 20 years for me are Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. I would almost put, or probably would even put Neymar in there as well, in the sense that he is probably maybe the only player whose level is so high in terms of his ability that he could hang with Messi. And you could see when they used to play, they knew what they were going to do, and incredible players on that level. No, Messi obviously had that relationship with Xavi and Iniesta, but they're midfielders. I think Busquets understood him as well, but again, Busquets is deeper playing. As forwards, obviously you had Suarez and Messi who had an incredible relationship as well, but just in terms of like gifted from the gods footballing ability, I think Neymar is the only one I would put there. He was that good. Now, obviously, when you talk about trophies, even, but somebody or I read somewhere yesterday that Neymar won a trophy maybe every season for like nearly 15 years. But obviously, people will debate, oh, he's playing in France, this and that and the other. Um, Comparing Neymar to Rooney. Now, for me, Rooney is the best Premier League player ever, and people will always say Thierry Henry mainly. Cristiano Ronaldo was there, but I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo played in the Premier League long enough. I think he was there for about 5 or 6 seasons, maybe. And I can remember when he first came over, especially probably for the first two, possibly even like 3 seasons, nearly. I can remember on Match of the Day, etc. I think it's Alan Hansen and Cole. used to say he needs to stop doing the flashy tricks and stuff like that. Obviously, towards the end, these last 2 or 3 years, different level. But he didn't have an incredible 6 years in the Premier League for me. So for me, I always thought it was Rooney above Henry, just because he played in so many positions, the work rate as well, the goals he scored, assists, the teamwork, everything, success as well. So again, people can debate. That's another debate. But for me, it's probably Rooney, who is the best Premier League player. Now, comparing Rooney to Neymar, I know talent-wise, Neymar is, how do you beat that level of talent? It's not that Rooney wasn't talented; he was an incredible teenager, but just a level of football. I think Neymar is like in the whole of the history of football. That level of talent is almost unprecedented. And I know people like his theatrics maybe and this, that, and the other, but like I said, what are you debating it on? Whether you like the guy, whether his off the field antics, this, or just purely as a footballer. So I would take Neymar over Rooney, and people fall in that sort. Mane's, Salah. For me, Neymar, you can't even compare them to Neymar. I think on the overlap they mentioned Hazard as well. Hazard is another one, very very talented, but Neymar is just a different level. He's got the goals in him as well. He can do everything that Hazard can do, and he's got the goals. So for me, I don't think you can compare Hazard to Neymar. So for me, it's a bit, like I said, Neymar is a funny one because you look at him and you think he should have done more. And then at the same time, if you look at his body of work and his actual like his career, it's probably a bit underrated as well. Maybe because people didn't watch him so much, but just the talent, I think you got to appreciate just the level of talent that he is. I don't know if you'll ever, but you've got Yamal now as well. Hopefully, if he can stay injury free and make the right decisions, he can have the career maybe that Neymar should have had. So yeah, just a little opinion on the Neymar debate, but hopefully there are still footballers up and coming that will give us that entertainment as well. Another debate you could have is Neymar versus Ronaldinho. You need that flair, and like I said, I always encourage anybody, even the kids that we coach, to watch Yamal as much as possible, because when you watch them, they do things that you can't think of, and that's what football should be about, creativity. But we're going on to a different topic now. So yeah, that's the Neymar thing. Just think is it's like an enigma with him, but I don't think there's any Premier League player that could be better than Neymar. It was just an outrageous talent. His technique, his acceleration, his dribbling, it's just balance. He could score goals as well. He's not just flashy, he could score actually goals. So yeah, that's my little 2 bits worth. The next podcast I'm going to try to do is going to be about Yamal. I haven't done a podcast for a long time, and this is just something, just had a little bit of an opportunity to do, but I have to talk about Yamal because he's another one. If he stays fit, or even stays like 80% for his career, I think he's going down top 5 easily of all time. I was going to say that guy, but no, he's a man now, isn't he? He's 18, but he is just simply sensational. And once he moves into that number 10 role, it's going to be curtains for a lot of people and a lot of teams. So yeah, first podcast in a while. Hopefully next week another Yamal one will be coming. And hope everybody's well. Take care. See you soon.